what it do? You already know what's going on. It's yours truly. Just say it with me. I'm Mr. TALIAFERRO. We're back. Yo, somebody was like, yo, you only wear one hoodie. I'm clearly trying to promote a merchandise line that I got coming in the next few weeks. So that's why you keep seeing me in like the same 2-3 hoodies, because I'm obviously trying to promote a merch line that I'm about to get off the ground. So you're going to see me in these type of hoodies a lot. I'm washing them and I got multiple ones, I swear. But obviously I'm trying to get a merch line off the ground. Now, today in this video, I don't like counting people's dollars like that. That's really not my thing. But I feel like there's a cool news element to it, and I don't really do this out of a malicious place. We want to talk about some hip-hop Forbes type stuff. We want to talk about some real money getters, the hip-hop Forbes top money getters so far in 2019. Forbes released one of their annual lists, and it shows what have people made thus far in 2019. And this ain't people's net worths and all that. This is the amount of money that people have made before getting taxed thus far in 2019. It's the hip-hop edition. I don't believe Dr. Dre is on it. He's the only name that usually is on these type of lists that I didn't see on it. But I thought it'd be dope to get into some of these names. We'll run through the names, then kind of react to it afterwards. So at number 20, we have Pitbull at $18 million so far in 2019. That's a lot of money. 19, we got Wiz Khalifa at $18.5 million. At 18, we got Nas at $19 million. Future's right above him at $19.5 million for 17th on the list. Birdman's at $20 million for 16th on the list. Meek's at 15 with $21 million. Swizz Beatz, very slept on, $23 million thus far in 2019. Cardi B, Barty Gang is at $28 million at number 13. And ironically, right above her at number 12 on the list is Nicki Minaj at $29 million thus far. Number 11, we got J. Cole at $31 million. 10, Childish Gambino, another slept-on one, at $35 million. Number 9, we got the Migos coming in at $36 million. Kendrick at 8, $38.5 million. DJ Khaled, number 7, at $40 million so far in 2019. Number 6, Eminem at $50 million of them things. 5, Travis Scott at $58 million. And then we got the top 4 here. We got some of the power hitters in the game. Diddy at 4, $70 million. Drake at 3, $75 million. Jay at 2, $81 million. And Kanye West, man, he is really doing some things with his brand. $150 million. I obviously got to believe a lot of that is accredited to them. Yeezy's really taking off over there with his brand over there with Adidas, right? Yeah. So salute to all these people that made this list. Congratulations to all of them. So just looking through the list, here's what I see thus far. Pitbull, we sleep on that whole audience that Pitbull reaches. I don't know about a lot of his business ventures, but I heard he's heavily invested. Yo, Wiz Khalifa at 19 is interesting to me, right? Because like Wiz could go without putting out an album, but I think niggas forget that Wiz tours every year with drama. Wiz is still a top act. I'm sure it's still a nice penny to book him. Like, homie makes money. Alright, obviously being on this list. Nas and Future right next to each other, 18, 17. Nas had the album last year with Ye, and Nas been touring too. I know he's on a tour with Mary J. Blige. Yeah, Nas is just, I mean, obviously, I feel like his albums from back in 92, that classic is still doing numbers in regards to streams and all that. And I feel like people still buy physicals of Nas's album. I mean, Nas is Nas. Future at $19.5 million. Yeah, people keep saying Future fell off. But, I mean, this dude had made $20 million so far in 2019. And he's just starting his tour right now. So that number for him, he's going to probably swoop up this list with the guy that's at number 15 on the list, Meek Millie. This dude on tour with Future, like I said, Meek's had, this is the first, calendar year that he's been out of prison, right, in quite some time. I mean, homie is right back at it, right back in the game. Dropped the album. Now it looks like he's about to drop another project sooner rather than like Meek Mill has gotten right back to the money. After, I mean, I know he feels like he done missed out on a lot of money, but homie getting to it. I see Birdman at 16 there. Birdman and Swizz Beatz, bruh. First off, these dudes got catalogs of music. Swizz Beatz is investing in the art. Birdman is still investing in the artist. I know he's been financially invested in Whack 100 in the West Coast. I think Birdman is kind of tied into that Blueface money. And Birdman is still Birdman. 13, here's where it gets interesting. Like from 13 on, we can finally start talking about some rappers, right? Like Cardi B at 13, she put out a statement saying that the Forbes is way off. By the way, I don't know why people get mad that niggas didn't count their money right. Like, you do realize if you got money coming in and that shit ain't been counted, that's good for you. That's gonna make you pay less in taxes. But she was like, the list is off. Meek said the list is off as well. $28 million for Barty. She's saying it's off. I'm guessing she thinks she's in the $40, $50 million range. And she probably is. That's a lot of money. Yo, Cardi, yo, fam, like to book her, I know you spending at least $100,000, $150,000 to book her. Nicki ain't doing as many shows as Cardi. Her tour got canceled. But Nicki still sells, all her catalog is still amazing. And to book her for anything, you better be ready to pay a grip and to do a verse for her, get a feature for, like, this still Nicki, bruh. So the fact that they're two right there, I expect Cardi to be in that top 10 next year though, because she's got a new album coming out in the fall. I expect her to be in that top 10 for sure next year. J. Cole ain't toured this year, but J. Cole did a lot of music, and he did do the joint album with his label, and I expect J. Cole to be higher on this list as well, because I expect him to tour next year. Childish Gambino at $35 million. I mean, the dude is an actor. This dude makes great music. Remember, that's probably counting a lot of that. This is America, all that money and all that shit. Yeah, I get why. You know, a lot of people don't talk about him, but I expect him to be on this list. So I'm saying a couple people are going to be moving up. I think Nicki's going to tour next year. I know she said she retired. I think Nicki, Cardi, and Cole at 13, 12, and 11. I could see all three of them moving higher up on this list. I don't know who's going to, or at least making more money. I'm not going to necessarily say moving higher, but I know they're going to make more money because all of them are subject to tours next year. So we got the Migos here at 9, $36 million. They didn't even tour this year. That's crazy. They ended with Drake like last year, right? They didn't even tour this year and they made $36 million. That's crazy, but they are a group. Kendrick at $38.5 million. No album from Kendrick this year. Doesn't look like we're getting an album from Kendrick this year. He only did a few spot dates this year. He didn't tour this year. Yo, the thing with Kendrick is his albums, like even like Good Kid, Mad City, obviously anything Kendrick puts out is going to still be relevant because many people would argue that homie's every album he puts out was a classic. Like on his last body of work, homie had like 5 records that were like top 5. So obviously in regards to Kendrick Lamar, I'm just looking at this dude on the charts like Damn is still top 30, top 40 album. Like that thing been out over, that Damn came out in 2017, fam. So between this, To Pimp a Butterfly, and Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick sells music. Just simple as that. He sells music. Who else we got? Khaled at 7. I know people are always surprised to see Khaled on these lists, but you have to remember, like, homie is always working. He's got a lot of business ventures. I know he got to deal with Snapchat. He had to deal with Weight Watchers, too. He's on a lot of commercials. A lot of things that we don't see Khaled is invested in and getting a bag from, like alcohol and all that shit. You gotta think all the music that homie does, the splits. Like, think about it, like a record with like Big Sean. What was the record that joint he had with 21 Savage and Cardi B? That Wish Wish record? I mean, he makes some off that. He just produced the record and put it together. Like, Khaled is super smart financially, and he knows that he can never just be quiet for a year or two. Eminem at 6, I ain't gonna lie, Eminem kind of surprised me at 6. Just because we don't see a lot what he does, but he did tour. What he toured last year? Because he dropped music last year. I was shocked to see Eminem at 6, but he's a legend. Travis Scott is the one that's going to be just climbing his list. He's at 5 now. When Travis drops another album, I expect homie to move up to maybe number 3. Him and Drake going to be fighting it out. Because just like Drake, Travis Scott can do arena tours too. And I'm just going to let you know right now, like Travis Scott and Drake for years to come, depending on how long Drake does music, Travis Scott's base is look, he ain't Drake to me as an artist, but his base is crazy. His fan base is crazy. That Astro World Tour broke a lot of records. So whenever homie does come, which will probably be late 2020, just guessing from the timeline, yeah, he's going to, Travis Scott's going to be a fixture. Like, I know people are going to see Kanye, Jay, and Drake and Diddy on these lists, and they'd be like, yeah, the common names, Kendrick Lamar. But Travis Scott is going to interrupt some hip-hop norms. Family's going to be on this list. Diddy at 4, we get that. That's Diddy. Come on now, bro. What is he not involved in? Jay at 2. The number 81 million, that's a lot of fucking money, bro. That's a lot of money for Jay. Just still surpassing Drake, who's at 75. It's a lot of money, but Jay's got like 20, 30 years on Drake. Number 1, Ye at 150 million. Ye done did some, man, look, man, Ye was complaining. He was complaining about like not getting the shots, not being able to get certain things that he needed done because they wanted. Remember, he was arguing with Sway a few years ago. What was that, 2016, 2015? Saying he's having a hard time getting certain things off the ground. Working with Nike wasn't the greatest for him. They weren't respecting his brand the way he needed to respect it. It seems like he's figured some things out. He's very, very, very respected in that fashion lane. And people hate on Ye all you want, but $150 million is $150 million. Numbers don't lie for anybody on this list, especially some of these top dogs like Jay, 81 million in the off year. Like, that's crazy. And Jay's been doing like it's one thing for a nigga to come out of nowhere and average 30 points a game, right? But the dude that's been averaging 25 to 27 points a game for like the last 10 years, that's what Jay's been doing. Jay's been on the board for like the last 20 years, bruh. That's why it's just tough to catch up with him, because every year he's on that list, in that top 2, top 3. That's crazy. Wow. Heavy hitters on this list. Y'all let me know what stands out to y'all about the hip-hop highest paid acts thus far of 2019. Again, this is only 2019, so translation, these some rich motherfuckers. I ain't hating. You ain't hear me hate on nobody on the list. I'm proud of hip-hop making the money. And by the way, this is proof right here for anybody out there. Hip-hop is the top genre in the world by far. Look at the money that these predominantly hip-hop acts have been able to make this year. Look at all that money, which means look at all these jobs that hip-hop is creating for people. Look at how many of these acts have toured in the last couple years. All that money is because fans are going out in the thousands to go see these acts. And it all comes down to how important hip-hop music is to the culture. You can say mumble rap, all that. Somebody's going out to these shows. Somebody is buying these artists' music, streaming these artists' music, buying these people's merchandise and the brands that they support, and supporting business that they rock with. Hip-hop is number 1. It ain't even close, bruh. So salute to hip-hop. I thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Please, if you have not done so, subscribe to the platform and follow your boy on Instagram. My business account is FERRO Reacts. Personally, at is Mr. Taliaferro. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
All the kids, they
tuned in. We locked in right now, Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.